Today's episode is about how to become a film director, or to be more specific, a commercial director. There are several ways to become a commercial director. Now, it's a pretty broad subject, so consider this to be part one. So I'll first tell you how I became a commercial director and the route that I took. I created spec ads. So I created 5 spec ads. Prior to the spec ads, I had to save up some money. Now, for those of you who don't know what spec ads are fake commercials, not real commercials. The goal is to try and create your style in these spec ads, and at the same time making sure that they look like a real ad. I would say that you would have to fool not just your friends, but to ad agencies and to production houses that these are real ads. I created 5 spec ads, and I had a 9 to 5 job working at a call center, so I saved up a whole lot of money. And at the time, this is showing my age, but at the time, I think the 5D Mark II hadn't yet been released. I filmed these 5 spec ads on 35mm film. Now, it's pretty expensive, I know, but I saw this as an investment for my career. And so yeah, so you can see how expensive it got. I bought some film. Luckily I had a DOP friend of mine who had a film camera, and I came up with a whole lot of ideas and narrowed down to 5. It was exciting back in those days, and doing things on your own. So when you're putting together a spec ad, you're not just the director, you're the producer, you're doing everything. I had to find the talents, the actors, the locations, getting location permits, props and wardrobe, all that stuff. So my goal was to try and make it epic, make it look like it's a real ad, because the idea was that once these spec ads were done, I was going to visit a whole lot of production houses and then show them my reel. Now it's a lot easier due to digital cameras. At the time, if the 5D Mark II was out, I would have shot on digital for sure. Film was, like I said, it's very expensive, it's very heavy. On top of that, you have to get the film processed as well. So I filmed 2 of my spec ads in Hong Kong, had to get it processed in a place called Mandarin Films. And it was exciting shooting on film. Sadly, not many productions these days shoot on film, for obvious reasons. Today, you have the Blackmagic Pocket 6K. You have all these DSLR cameras that have video functions. Some shoot on the iPhone, but I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, you have all these options now, and these options weren't available at the time, unless I was gonna go shoot on VHS or something, which is a no-no, because the quality would have been obvious. That was my route in terms of getting to where I'm at now. I wouldn't recommend it because they are spec ads, and now when you're approaching production houses, you can't tell them that they're spec ads. You're going in there saying, I'm a film director. You need to kind of fake it till you make it. I would suggest, if you're doing spec ads, now is a great time because you've got... Sorry, there's construction next door. Lost my train of thought. I would also suggest, treat it like it's a real production, and put some... you really have to put some money into it, because if not, it's going to show, to be honest. Don't use your friends as the talents or the main protagonist. Use real actors. I mean, there are a ton of professional actors out there who would love to be in your spec. It's good for their portfolio as well. So, I mean, it's a win-win situation. And if you have a great idea, discuss with friends, family members, but more importantly, if you have anyone in the film industry, ask them and see what they say, see what their feedback is. The other routes you can take, which I would think would be a better option, I would say to be a runner or part of the crew, or an AD, like an assistant director, or a producer, assistant producer. I mean, when I started off, there wasn't many, there wasn't much information for this field or for this industry, and so yeah, like I said, I had to fake it till I made it. So there were a lot of things I didn't know, and when I look back at how I got to where I am, there are a lot of funny stories which I'll talk about in later episodes. Going through this route, like an AD, assistant director, or being a producer, etc., is extremely beneficial because you know how things run. Even being a DOP, you're on set and you know how things run. You know how you can actually see what the director is doing. I would strongly suggest going through this route, being part of the crew. So another way is either you work in a production house or you work in an agency, in an advertising agency, because you know the process in terms of the things that happen in the back end. So, for example, pre-production, briefs, treatments, discussing and talking with clients and seeing what they want. So working in a production house or agency side would be extremely beneficial because there's a lot of back-end stuff that you don't see on set. And on top of that, you also have a better idea of what clients want, and the more you work with clients, you begin to understand. You kind of have a better idea of what clients want. You know how to deal with clients. So I would say that these are the three things you can do to become a commercial director. And like I said, you can do a spec ad, which is a hard way. Second is work in production, so be that runner, AD, DOP, gaffer. So you see what happens on set. And the other would be working on the back end. So working in a production house as an assistant producer, producer, or even working in the agency. Just so that you know in terms of the creative side, and because generally the agency are the ones who come up with the concept and the creative idea. Now I won't dive into too much detail today. In later episodes, in part 2, which will be later down the road, I'll get into a bit more detail in terms of what kind of commercial director you should be. Like you really need to find your niche, like your style. I came in thinking that I can be a director that can do everything. I'm a jack of all trades. I can do car commercials, I can do drink commercials, I can do laundry detergent commercials. And here we go again. Now, before I finish up, please subscribe. That's the most important thing. Share, comment. Visit my Instagram, aswa_hand. You can check out some of my work at aswahand.com. Also, I'm doing a passion project, and this is all coming out of my own money, so it will help a lot if any of you guys can donate. You can go to my website, there's a donate button. You can pay through PayPal. Just any small amount will do. $1, $5, $100, $1,000, all good. And it's going to be awesome, and I'll definitely update all of you on that project. That's I've already shot like 80-90% of it, and I just need that yeah, there's a lot involved, a lot of special effects, and I also have a second part of the shoot that will be shot in studio, and yeah, you know, there's a lot of things involved that require a lot of money, color grading and sound design and special effects and all that stuff. So yeah, so I'll end the channel, and yeah, please check out my other episodes, and until then, I'll see you next time.